so I believe Julio Jones, I mean, he's obviously absolutely known for his speed and his strength, his jumping ability and whatnot, but he was a had a 5-star rating coming out of high school, which is obviously the highest, possible rating. Did you have a lot of colleges reach out to you during the recruitment process, Todd?
Yeah, the recruiting on him was great because we had people not only, local colleges, we had people from all across the country. I mean, at the time we had USC come in here, Oklahoma, I mean, just from all over the country. So that was unique. Guys from the West Coast don't always come over to Foley, Alabama to recruit, but he was a guy that garnered attention from all across the country. So that was unique, and I really thought he handled it well. I've seen guys that there's so much attention, so much pressure, so many people vying for your time and pulling at you, it can really affect your game. But I thought he did a real good job, and part of that maybe was because of his maturity and the way he handles people. But I really thought he handled that well. He went out and did his job and really contributed to a great senior season for us.
Coach, actually speaking of his senior year, this is kind of a shot in the dark, but do you happen to remember maybe roughly what his stats were, maybe catches, yards, touchdowns?
Give me a second. I could probably look that up for you. I don't recall exactly. Actually, if you give me just a second, I can probably look it up. I know, and I'm looking at some of the records now. As a senior, he had 68 catches. Overall, in his career, he had 194 through 3 years with 52 touchdowns.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers. He's obviously a very gifted athlete. Did he play just receiver? Did he play defensively, or maybe return punts or anything like that, or was it more just offense?
Yeah, he returned punts and kickoffs. He also played some defensive back. Really in late games or tight situations, some we would stick him some back there at safety. So he had a chance to play a little defense, but again was on every return team as far as kickoff and punt return.
Right.
Great, and thus far, Coach, the Atlanta Falcons are 4-0, but Jones seems to be just a little inconsistent. He had some, 2 really, really good games and then 2 somewhat disappointing games. I know he's been dealing with a little bit of a hand injury. But, Coach, just hypothetically speaking, if you had, say, Julio Jones on, your fantasy football team, would you feel confident in his ability for the rest of the season?
I do. And here's the thing that you got to understand, and maybe sometimes the casual fan don't understand it. The defenses dictate a lot of where the ball's going when it comes out of the quarterback's hands. The first couple games, I think a lot of people were paying attention to Roddy White and Tony Gonzalez, and he made all the plays. And around the last couple weeks, and the coverages have shifted toward him, and Roddy White's had huge games, and Tony Gonzalez is making plays, and they're running the ball more effectively. So, a lot of times as a casual fan, you just look at strictly numbers, but defenses are looking at, hey, if somebody's hot, we're going to go and take that away. You got to find somebody else. And that's the great thing about what Atlanta's got is they've got, they got weapons at every position, and then they've got a trigger man that can get the ball out to them at any time. It's a well-balanced offense, and, you're going to have, some guys have a great week here, and then defense is going to make adjustments to that, and the other side will have a great week. So, as long as they're continue to win, continue to score points on offense, I think everybody's happy.
Yeah, absolutely. They obviously Matty Ryan is their quarterback. We're located right in Massachusetts, so he's a BC kid. So they get quite a lot of weapons. Well, his name is Coach Todd Watson. He is the athletic director and head football coach at Foley High School, and shed some really great insight on Julio Jones. And Coach Watson, again, I just want to thank you for taking the time here and being on the show.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That was this week's Dynasty Podcast interactive segment.
Wow, Bob. Coach Todd Watson, what a great interview he was. southern twang he's got. Fascinating individual. I think we all learn more about Julio Jones, right?
No, yeah, I agree, and I think we're all better people for being a part of it and listening to it.
Well, that's going to wrap it up. Bitches, later this week, I will be sending out the annual Contender Pretender email, so be on the lookout for that. I'd like to thank Coach Phil Tamulis, of course, Coach Todd Watson, and all of you for listening.
And if your name is Will DeYoung, which means you still haven't got back to Commissioner Scooper about the mid-season hangout, please do so soon, or suffer the wrath of a T-bone suplex.
Good luck in Week 5. This is Commissioner Scooper.
And this is Bob Palucha.
Over and out.
This is your reigning Dynasty champion, Coach John Costanza of the Amber Alerts, and this incredible episode of the Dynasty Podcast was brought to you by Tom Berkowitz Trucking. When I'm not stealing kids, I'm using Tom Berkowitz Trucking, because they don't question body bags.